Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chelsea Explain, as this is your final review of the Club World Cup, because we are champions of the world. We completely obliterating PSG 3-0, the best team in the world, the clear favorites to win this tournament, and we treated them like they were a championship club, which I absolutely love, and this is where we want to be as Chelsea Football Club, as fans, to be able to win these trophies. We want to be in the contention for every trophy every year. That is the Chelsea way, the mentality and standards at this club. Now, I'm gonna hold my hands up and completely give Maresca, Blue Coat, sporting directors and every single player full praise here. I am someone that was heavily critical about only purchasing young players, but it paid out this time, both in the Conference League, of course, and now in the Club World Cup, who is far more prestigeful than winning Conference League. But I'm delighted I have been proven wrong, because I have been quite depressed, miserable, seeing the way we Chelsea have been playing for the recent years. Some of the purchases we have made that hasn't made sense. We have bought players that doesn't really suit the manager. And for a half year ago, if someone would have told me that we would have won Club World Cup against PSG in a final, I would have laughed and said that's not possible. There's no way we can reach and win the Club World Cup. But I'm so delighted I have been proven wrong. And Chelsea has now proved that you can actually win trophies with a young team. That has basically never really been done. You can argue that PSG has done it, but they still got some experience in Donnarumma, Dembele, Hakimi, Marquinhos, etc. Lucas Hernandez, Fabian, lots of players. He's above 25, 26 years old. I think it comes down to fantastic and smart recruitment from the directors recently, where you're actually buying top young talents that suits the manager, that is also versatile and flexible, can play many positions, players that are technical, composed under pressure, has fantastic anticipation, reacting to events, what's going on and off the ball. We're purchasing players that got great mentality. I mean, we're also looking to strengthen now when we had the opportunity to do so by signing Liam Delap just before the tournament, as well as signing João Pedro as well, who could be registered before the knockout stage. And what a signing they both have been, especially João Pedro. Has like 3-4 points already after just 3 games. If we're going for these type of signings and giving players that Maresca needs and wants, it's gonna take you very far, more than other teams. Recruitment is king, is so key for being successful. And PSG were the clear favorites. Everyone thought they were gonna get a job done. I thought we could get a job done because we usually play better against bigger opposition, because then that means we can counterattack and there's a lot of space for the likes of Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, Neto to have more time on the ball and create something. No one believed us, but you have to remember Chelsea is the most dangerous side when we have all odds against us. It has been proven now yet again. I have to say, this type of performance from the players, the game plan from Maresca, I haven't seen this good performance from a Chelsea side since the Champions League final. It was perfect for me, honestly. I have nothing to complain about. It would have been nice if we could score even more goals and smash PSG like 5-6-0, but I'm taking 3-0 and a clean sheet every day of the week against Paris Saint-Germain. In terms of the lineup, we saw 2 changes. Colwill and James returned to the starting 11. Now James playing in the midfield, as many of us don't like me included. But he actually played really well, like everyone else. Maybe it's gonna pay off down the line, having James as a defensive midfielder at times. I mean, that gave us extra defensive protection. Because otherwise, I think Lavia would have played there. We desperately needed him. We needed more players that is defensively good and can win back the ball. So it was a great choice on Maresca to pick James as a midfielder. But we had Sanchez in goal. We had Cucurella, Colwill, Chaluba and Gusto in the back line. And I love how we utilize Gusto to his best abilities, being this marauding, attacking fullback that was bombing up and down and made so many fantastic overlaps and aggressive runs. It helped Palmer so much down the right hand side. In the midfield we had James, Enzo Fernandez. Up front we had Cole Palmer as a right winger, yeah actually, but he was more occupying as an inside forward in the right half space. Neto on the left hand side and João Pedro up front. I thought the lineup was absolutely spot on. The first 45 minutes I think is the best I've seen Chelsea played on the blue coat. Starting the game with high intensity, urgency, quick passing, quick movement. As soon as we had the opportunity to be direct, we were that. We're creating chances early. Palmer was really close to adding to scoring the opener after just like 10-12 minutes. 10 minutes later, around the 20th minute, he scored the first goal, and it was thanks to Gusto being aggressive, closing down Mendes, intercepting the ball, driving towards goal. He was trying to make a shot by himself, but it got blocked, bounced back to him, looked up, saw Palmer, and Palmer received a pass and he could just slot it in the left bottom corner past Donnarumma. Ice cold as he is. Just like 8 minutes after that or something, Palmer scores a brace. And the goal was pretty similar to the first one. Another fantastic finish in the left bottom corner. And then he's also playing a part in the third goal where he's making a little through ball to João Pedro, moving behind the defenders, and he can just clip it ice cold over Donnarumma. And the PSG had some dangerous chances actually in the first half, especially when they made like low driven cross diagonal inside the box. It landed to Desiree Dou, who then made a cutback pass to Hakimi, but it got intercepted by Cucurella, who read that pass, and that was so important because otherwise I think PSG would have scored. They also had a close header in the first half, but otherwise from that they barely had anything in the first half. When the second half started, I was a bit nervous, like, can we keep this up? What if PSG would turn it around? And they were actually stepping up their game. They were creating more chances, they came close to maybe score a few goals. But Sanchez, he had his best game of his life. He decided to turn into prime Petr Cech and stopped everything. It was like his best game in his football career, and there was nothing PSG could do. I was quite nervous that PSG was gonna make a comeback and score 3 goals and maybe turn it around, but we were resilient, concentrated and focused, and made sure that we didn't let in a single goal. And that of course led to frustration then from PSG, where I think it was João Neves pulling Cucurella's hair, got a red card, and then the comeback was never going to happen from that point on, and we could just see out the game. We could bring on some subs, fresh legs to help with the intensity going. We also had the really good chances from the Lap coming in. He was very positive sub in the second half. Could have added a brace himself. Was so close scoring. I'm happy with every single player out there on the pitch, and full credit to everyone. And it was so nice seeing everyone running out, cheering, celebrating with the Chelsea fans, with each other. Seeing your Mr. Captain Reece James lifting up the Club World Cup trophy, and we're completing the trophy set yet again. I mean, it's amazing being a Chelsea fan again. This is where we want to be. Now, if we can combine earning money like the owners want with success, I mean, we got the perfect blend of both worlds. Because this is where Chelsea should be, and now we should continue this. Now our aim should be to win FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League, and Champions League. And Maresca really prepared himself for this game. He was targeting PSG's weaknesses in terms of Mendes, having our striking João Pedro pinning Beraldo, who is quite weaker than Pacho. We were attacking the flank, especially the right hand side, where Gusto could overlap, and it allowed Palmer to have lots of space inside the right half space. We were constantly tracking back with our wingers. I saw Neto making runs and helping in our own defensive box. Fantastic defensive contribution. We needed this from our wingers and forwards, because otherwise we were gonna put our fullbacks in risk, being 1-versus-1 against Kvaratskhelia and Desirdu, and that could not happen. So fantastic work ethic from every player, making sure everyone is defending as a unit, and that is required today if you're gonna win against the top sides. Every player has to do their part off the ball. And as we kind of spoke about in my match preview, why I also felt confident we could perhaps beat PSG's, because as I said, we play better against bigger opponents, but also because when teams is pressing us aggressively, we play through them with ease. Maresca has really done a world-class job of that, playing through opposition press. It's so difficult for opponents. They have to kind of sit back in either a mid block and a low block, and then we're gonna have some troubles. But if they're trying to press us high, more often than not, we're gonna play through you. We're gonna play direct balls, and we're gonna have players like Palmer, as I talked about, with massive space and time to do something in the final third. Either take a shot, make a dribble, or find a fantastic pass to a teammate. PSG's aggressive press killed them, and not having someone, they didn't have a defensive midfielder either. I mean, João Neves, Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz, they are more like central midfielders. They lack that type of Caicedo or Rodri, either like a ball-winning midfielder, like an anchor that's gonna protect the backline. They didn't have that type of player, and that cost them also tons of trouble defending transitions and defending their box, because they didn't have those type of players with those qualities and attributes. So I'm so happy with Maresca, and he should have full credit, and I have been uncertain whether he will make it here at Chelsea. He has definitely also proven me wrong, and he's my gaffer now. I'm gonna back him, and I believe if we continue doing smart recruitment, we continue this way, if we're learning how we can break down low blocks, which I feel is the only thing missing now, then we have capabilities of winning a Premier League and a Champions League in the future. I also really love how Maresca is quite flexible now, depending on the opponents we're facing, because I feel like that's also a requirement. You also have to adapt to the opponents, and you also have to adapt a little bit to the player you have, because just passing sideways, backwards, have a slow, controlled pace game, that's not gonna work every game. Sometimes you need to be a bit adaptable and play directly, and that worked so well. We got players that is really good at that. We need to see more of this next season, and we're gonna become even more dangerous. But the mentality was also very key in this game. We couldn't, respect PSG. We had to disrespect them. We had to look like them, like, you know what, we're gonna play our game. We don't care what you have done. You have smashed all these top clubs, but we don't care. We're gonna focus on our game, and we're gonna follow our game plan and believe in our abilities. And we did that. This was players becoming proper men out there on the pitch and showing fantastic mentality, team cohesion, togetherness. It's gonna take a while before I have really comprehend what happened in this final. I thought I was never gonna see a performance like this from this current Chelsea squad. But I'm so happy they pull it off. Just going back and continue talking about player performances. Robert Sanchez for me might have cemented his future here with this performance. He's fantastic shot stopper, collecting crosses, and his distribution from the back was actually good. He was going long at times, often on the right hand side, where Palmer or Gusto could win the handler against Mendes, and we could kickstart attack already in their half. And if it wasn't for him saving a few of these shots, we would have conceded like 2-3 goals, and PSG could have maybe had a comeback going on. Honestly, as much as we have criticized Robert Sanchez, I think he's deserved to stay here and be giving further chances next season. Very happy with Gusto as well. When he was this overlapping wing back, he was sublime. It helped also Palmer massively, winning the man of the match deservedly. Today Cole Palmer was unstoppable. And it's criminal how PSG could not man mark him and closing down. They were giving him too much space and time on the ball. No one should never doubt Palmer. I mean, yes, he hasn't scored much this year, but he still has created chances for his teammates that they haven't capitalized on. He has got into great opportunities to score, but he hasn't been able to finish the dinner. But now he finally contributed with 3 points, and I think this was much needed from him, and he's gonna be back to his absolute best again. Personally, I feel Palmer is up there to potentially win Ballon d'Or in the future. He is that player. He is him. I mean, I can sit and go on and talk about so many player performances. I think the last one I just want to mention briefly is Chalobah, who had been forced out. He was recalled back from loan, and he has been one of our best centre backs, being so reliable and consistent, and it wouldn't sit right with me if Blueco would force him out now after the type of consistent performances he has brought since we recalled him. Now everyone can celebrate. We Chelsea fans can finally brag and be happy and really talk about that we are champions of the world, and now the players can go on a deserved holiday that is much needed. They're gonna have to rest and be ready for the pre-season, because next season I feel like we're gonna go for every trophy that is possible, because that is the Chelsea way. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will happily read it. And I thank you so much for following my videos in terms of this Club World Cup Road to Glory playlist. And I catch you guys later. So if you're brand new here, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my page, hit that notification bell down below so you never miss when the content drops. And Chelsea Explain is out. Peace.